I love your game, Grant. You're wonderful.
Y'all don't know nobody like me. Silly, extroverted.
Showtime.
Stars are out, stars are out, stars are out, stars are out. Come on, come on.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ahmad Rashad, and welcome to NBAE Presents. Today, we devote our show to one of the NBA's greatest power forwards and one of my main men, Chris Webber. He was a star in the league for 15 years with 5 different teams, and now he's part of our team here at NBA TV. Now, as we do on this show, we'll look back at Chris's career through the features we've done over the years at NBA Entertainment. It was back in the early 90s that Webber first gained national attention as the leader of the University of Michigan team known as the Fab Five. And as expected, Chris would end up being the NBA's top draft pick. But that's when things took an unexpected turn.
With the first pick in the 1993 NBA draft, the Orlando Magic select Chris Webber from the University of Michigan.
Most guys get drafted to that team, you think you're going to go and be there forever.
Webber's career with Orlando didn't last forever. It didn't even last 15 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to report a trade. Orlando has traded the draft rights to Chris Webber.
Chris would become a Golden State Warrior. He was the Rookie of the Year, and then he was gone.
I concluded it probably would be best for the Warriors and for Chris if he went to another team.
Traded to the Washington Bullets, he was counted on to resurrect a fading franchise.
I don't like all the, here's the superstar of the city. I'd rather have them put the team on a pedestal as far as winning championships. This is the team, of Washington. This is our team instead of this is our player.
But with his superior talent, that was never going to happen.
Webber stuffs it down.
And when Washington didn't become a winner, he was on the move again.
Earlier this evening, I traded Chris Webber to the Sacramento Kings.
I didn't even know about the trade until I heard it from a guy at the corner store who told me about the trade, and I'm thinking like, no, this really can't be real. I get on the plane and think I'm all right, but I look and all I see is farmland and cows from up in the sky, and I just couldn't handle that. I just kind of broke down on the plane, and I was just thinking like, what I'm gonna do is buy a ticket and just get back on the plane and go back to Detroit. It was just like the end of the world to me to have to come here.
The Sacramento Kings were one of the worst teams in the league, but when Chris arrived, they began to transform into one of the best.
Stolen by Thunderbird. He feeds to Jason Williams. Ahead to Williamson. Behind the back pass. Webber with a two-hand flush. Webber doubled by O'Neal. Behind the back feet. D-Bots frees up. Power jam. Oh, what a pass. Webber's doing it all tonight.
And their selfless style of play would become their trademark.
Webber, reverse power jam. Oh, that has them dancing out of their seats.
Webber was the centerpiece of a true team. It was what he had always wanted.
What was special about Sacramento was the unselfishness of the guys. We all loved each other and cared for each other and wanted to win.
Oh, God, my ball sleep well.
You can see the energy, and the way that they were talking about, winning and be positive, the way we, approach to the practice and the games, it's all about fun.
He used to call me and say, Dad, this is really home. This, I love Vivian, I love D-Bots and the rest of the players. They were just so close and stuff.
John Barry's son hates me. I love Tyler.
That's all he talks about.
He won't speak to me, though. So he won't speak to me. Say hi, Tyler.
Say hi to C-Web.
Say what's up, Tyler.
And when he became a free agent in 2001, Webber chose to stay in Sacramento. Chris had finally found a home.
I love the smell of the popcorn. I love the practices. I love seeing the people out there. I love getting cheered. I love getting booed. Just try to have fun out there.
While Chris certainly had fun playing, he was also a lot of fun to watch. And one of the most impressive things about him was that he had so many skills for a big man. He could do it all. He could shoot, he could rebound, he could pass, he could defend. The question was, could he dance? For that, we will let you be the judge. We were there when Chris tried his hand at dancing, actually tried his feet at dancing to be exact. He joined teammate Vlade Divac as consultants to the Kings dance team for an NBA commercial.
5, 7, 6, 8. We take our job as NBA dance consultants very seriously. Okay, people, we got some work to do. It's time to get done. Acting's not my forte, but it's fun, and I can't wait to see it. I know the finished product's gonna look good. Nice. I like it. And I think Ronnie's doing a great job. I think if there's one problem, maybe the women aren't listening to his moves. No! He's trying to teach them how to be fluid and smooth, but don't you know how good of a dancer Vlade is? I don't think they're understanding right now, so...
It's not... See? I need more. Like this.
Sure.
Okay. We're trying to get them together, trying to get them to work it out right now. I need more time. I need more time. It's a lot of pressure on me. I used to be able to do this. The music must become a part of you. It must be you. You have to feel it. You have to live it. Let it flow through your veins. All right, y'all seen this before, right? This is called the Webmaster, baby. The Webmaster.
The Webmaster. They have their own unique style. They're pretty creative.
Now I'm getting better. Yeah. I'm more loose. I feel like, a guy with experience. So.
Hey, go to the dance.
River dance.
Are you guys sure about this?
Absolutely. You like that? Like that, Vlad? All right, there we go. I feel better now, Vlade.
Yeah, me too.
I think we're really making a difference.
In case you're wondering, Chris and Vlade never made it to Dancing with the Stars as dancers or consultants. But once Chris was through with his dance moves, he had to start working on some different kinds of moves, the ones you make on the checkerboard. That's because I challenged him to a serious, all-out, no-holds-barred, hide the women and children game of checkers. The showdown came in February 2001 when Chris was starting in the All-Star game and leading the rise of the Kings.
As you guys play and get better, this team just gets better and better, do you sort of feel now that you guys are getting close to the point where you can contend for a championship?
Our record right now and the way we've been practicing and playing really shows that we are a good team and we are a contender. And, we have to keep on proving it every day, but we're definitely on the right track.
Feels good to know that every night you're going to have to be the man.
I just want to win. So if it's a bunch of men on the team, I don't care about that. But it does feel good to be able to want the ball and to know you're going to do something positive with it later in the game.
When you were a kid, did you ever dream about playing in All-Star games?
All the time. I've seen every All-Star game probably since I can remember. I think about that all the time. I'm still a fan of it. And, even in the summer, I put in the old tapes of the games.
So I know I've seen your game grow and everything. I know we all know what you can do on the basketball court, but I was, there's a little something,
I know Ahmad is not going to challenge me in the game of checkers.
But you know anything about checkers?
Yeah, I know a little bit. I know a little bit about checkers.
No, I mean seriously. I mean not just those checkers. I'm talking about checkers, world-class kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think I can know something about that.
So you can accept this challenge I'm getting ready to lay on you about this checkers?
Oh yeah.
And it ain't gonna, and I don't want to put you out of your rhythm. You're having a great season and everything, so I don't want to really bench you. You know what I'm talking about?
No, we ain't lost that much this year. I don't expect to lose in checkers.
So we can do this.
We can do it right now.
All right. Okay, so how do we determine who goes first?
You go first. You challenge me. I'll let you go first.
All right, I'm going to go first. All right, so...
There's no way Ahmad can beat me. What is he thinking?
I am going to crush him. See, he's thinking if he does that, then I'll move here.
Thought he said he had game.
Wait a minute, what's that move? Now, if I move here, then he'll move there, so I'll move there. Yeah, that's a good move. I can move it back, because I still have my hand on it.
I was waiting for you to take your hand off. You're right.
My hand on there.
I have got him right where I want him. The trap is prepared.
That was a setup move some kind of way.
Right.
Don't remember how it was.
Take that.
Take that.
That was a terrible move.
You know, I played against Bobby Fischer one time, man.
Really?
You think he played chess only, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I was talking Bobby Fischer lived down the street from me. A big brother named Jimmy Fisher. Bobby wasn't no good at checkers.
Take that.
Take this. One bad move and a modest history. Thanks for stopping by. Game over, case closed, end of story. Have a nice flight.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yes.
2 out of 3, man.
There we go.
Come on, man. 2 out of 3.
Maybe next time,
Come
baby.
on, man.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, let's play some dominoes. I
Nice
bet you
to
can't
know
play
you.
no dominoes.
Weber, 10 on the clock. Weber. Yes! They can't stop him!
If I work hard at anything, I really can accomplish it because I was a skinny little kid that really couldn't play, and I had the right people around me to encourage me and to help me grow and develop.
Chris developed into a 5-time All-Star, and his best years were spent with the Sacramento Kings. With the help of teammates like Vlade Divac, Jason Williams, and later Mike Bibby, Weber turned the Kings into contenders and put Sacramento on the basketball map. I caught up with him at Arco Arena back in 2002. He wouldn't give me a rematch at checkers or play me in dominoes, which is really my game, but we did have a chance to hang out on the set of NBA Inside Stuff.
So now, does it seem like it's been 7 years since we took, we did Inside Stuff 7 years ago.
I remember
How
that.
fast?
It's fast. No, it doesn't. And my mother reminds me I'm getting older, but I don't feel that way. I'm just having a lot of fun.
You don't feel like you're like a real veteran in the NBA now?
I do feel like I'm a veteran as far as games I've played in years, but as far as when younger guys come in, I don't feel like I'm that much older or that far removed, or, like I'm an old guy on the court, got to show them something. I don't feel that way.
But since the first year, a lot of things, a lot of water under the bridge. It seems now that you're here in Sacramento, you seem so comfortable. Like this might be the perfect spot for you, perfect team for you.
Well, definitely. I'm having fun here. I love my teammates. We have a good time, and Coach I like the way that he allows me to play and allows my game to grow. So I'm definitely having a good time here, and I definitely can see myself being here.
All great players, no matter what, each year get better at some other area of the game. You have shot better this year, and there's something different in your shooting. What is it?
Well, I just watched a lot of film of myself and did a lot of shooting. And I noticed that I brought the ball back far when I missed a lot of shots. And my free throws is something that I felt I could never be the player I want to be until I can make my free throws and have the ball late in the game and allow myself, even if I have a bad shooting night, to be able to live off my free throws as some other players do sometimes. So I just want to make that a part of my game, and I think that's really helped me improve.
So now that you have been Player of the Week 2 out of 3 weeks, are you peaking, or is that who you're starting to become?
Yeah, that's what I like to think of it as. I think as far as when I'm playing some of my best ball, but that is who I am, I believe. I believe this is the type of ball I could have been playing, and I can get better, and I have ways to go, but I believe this is the level of play that I want to be at and continue to be at, and hopefully I can do that.
So what about this new team, this new fashion team? You guys are one of the most exciting teams in the league. Fun to play?
Oh, man, this is definitely fun to play, especially when we're at home with this crowd. Even on the road, the type of support we get on the road, it's fun to play, and as long as we're responsible, Coach allows us to express ourselves on the court, and with guys like Jason and Vlade, there's a lot of expression.
Has Jason ever hit you in the head with a pass?
No, I'm going to try to make sure I end my career. That's one of the things I want to brag about, that he never got a pass by me. I don't know if I can do that, but I'm been pretty good with it so far.
Throughout his career, Chris was always a student of the game, but he's also a student of history and his heritage. For over a decade, he's compiled an impressive collection of African-American historical documents and artifacts. It's a passion that started with a curiosity developed in his teenage years.
I just grew up in predominantly black neighborhoods, and then I got to go to a high school that was one big melting pot. And I really got to see other people's cultures and enjoyed the different races and their different traditions.
After learning about the diversity of other cultures, Chris wanted to know more about his own. He's proud that his collection will be one of his strongest legacies.
I just want to have some piece of those great leaders that once lived or that done so much for our country and for us to pass on down to my kids and to children growing up.
A letter by the great agriculturist George Washington Carver is part of Weber's collection, but one of Chris's favorites is a note written by Malcolm X.
I have a postcard from him while he was in Mecca, and he was writing back to Alex Haley. Talks about worshiping with men of different color and how open his mind has been changed, how changed his mind has become since he got to go over there and just see the world and see how different things work. I have many documents and speeches from Frederick Douglass. When he died, his house was burned down, and a lot of papers and personal notes and letters of that sort of thing. And I've been lucky enough to have some of those. They really do inspire me, but I really want them to inspire others. I think that's the real reason why I got them. And hopefully one day I'll have a big enough collection where I can have a traveling museum and just go to schools and speak to kids of all races and collect pieces from all races. Check this out. My nickname is C. Webb. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. I love to eat my mother's potato salad. When I'm not playing basketball, I like to make beats in my studio.
This is called the Webb Master, baby.
My favorite number is 4. The player I admired the most growing up was Isaiah Thomas. If I were not a basketball player, I'd probably be a school teacher. And that's 24 seconds with me, Chris Webber.
During Weber's 7 years in Sacramento, the Kings steadily climbed the playoff ladder, and the high point came in 2002. That year, they led the league with a franchise record 61 wins and made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, only to lose to the defending champion Lakers in overtime of Game 7. Now, despite that disappointment, Sacramento came back strong the next season and seemed ready to take the final step. But in the playoffs, disaster struck for Chris and the Kings. Weber was out to make Sacramento the kings of the league in 2003, but in the second round, he suffered a cruel blow.
Weber's down. Weber is down, and that's not good for Sacramento. Completely down on the baseline.
He had blown out his knee, and without him, the Kings were done.
It was tough. It felt like you let everybody down. It felt like you let yourself down. And, it was just real painful.
Chris was determined to be there for his team, and he would return the following season. Weber may have been back, but he had slipped, and so had the Kings. So they decided to start over.
I'm here to announce that we made a very big trade today. We traded Chris Webber to the Philadelphia 76ers. Oh, that was like a blow. That was probably the lowest point in his life. He said, "Dad, this hurts so much." It's like all of a sudden your wife, you've been with her for so many years, and she come up to tell you out of nowhere, "Hey, we're getting divorced tomorrow." Use your imagination how that would hurt.
Chris was now a 76er. Philly was struggling and hoped that Weber could help save them.
It's all you. All you. They think about it.
But he wasn't able to be a savior, as age and injury had begun to wear away at his game.
Personally, I thought he had nothing left, because I tell you what, physically, to me, he looks like he's nailed to the ground. I mean, he looks like to me that he can't move.
In December of 2006, the 76ers bought Weber out of his contract.
When he got bought out, man, I was just looking at it, and of course, selfishly, I'm like, dang, I know he can help our team.
The Detroit Pistons had been champions in 2004, but since then, they too had been slipping. And their center, Ben Wallace, had signed with Chicago, leaving the team with a void.
I got a call from Chauncey. That was funny. He was like, "What's up, boy?" I said, "What up, man?" He said, "Check it out, man. We need you to come rock with us." I said, "Look, we got a great bunch of guys here. Guys that have been there before, that know how to win. That's all about winning. Nobody cares who gets the credit. Nobody cares who's on SportsCenter, as long as we get the win." He said, "Yeah, you need to be a part of this."
And he just kept talking about the people. And he said, "What up, you gonna rock with us?" I said, "Yeah, let's do it."
Weber and the Pistons would prove to be a perfect fit as they revitalized each other.
Chris Webber.
Pass, boy.
You know, when we got him, I mean, we was excited. You know, a guy that really can play the game of basketball, you know, knows how to pass, score, play defense and everything else, and a guy that's coming in hungry with something to prove. And we needed that.
With Chris, the Pistons strengthened themselves for another playoff run.
No follow, see Webb. Yes! Chris Webber.
I needed a situation where I needed to come with a bunch of misfits that had all had adversity against them at one time. That's how I feel this team is. Nobody believed in Chauncey. Nobody likes She. Rip has a chip on his shoulder. He's tough. Tayshaun, you know, he's too skinny. And I needed it because I fit in right away. Our opportunity presented him with an opportunity that he had never had before. He wasn't going to get blamed for our situation. You know what I mean? He was just another one of the guys.
This is the 14th year in the NBA. Out of all those years, I've never seen this happen before. Like he won some kind of lotto or something.
I think Chris has been a perfect teammate, not just on the floor, but off the court. You know, he's silly, he jokes. We love him. You know, he's like a big brother.
At this stage in my life, winning is most important. That's why I just feel so blessed to be in this position now, because they just want to win. They're good people, and that's all you can hope for.
Weber fell short of his goal in Detroit, losing in the conference finals. He made one more stop with the team he started with, the Warriors, but his knee problems continued, and he announced his retirement, and Chris said, and I quote, like I always do, "People say you've got to go until the wheels fall off." Well, my wheel fell off. But when his wheels were rolling, he was among the game's best. Chris was one of just 6 players in NBA history with career averages of at least 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. The other players? Elgin Baylor, Larry Bird, and Wilt Chamberlain. Pretty good company. That'll just about do it for this edition of NBAE Presents. We will see you next time. So long, everybody.